Hey guys, this is Sean here from Microbudget Film Lab, and this is the second FAQ that I wanted to do in relationship to the Microbudget Launchpad. And what I wanted to talk about in this FAQ was a question that came up a lot in various forms, which was, what's in it for me? Why am I doing this? How am I making money? Why aren't I funding my own films to do this? And I want to be totally transparent with explaining this process and not lie to you and not conceal anything from you, and say first of all, it's a complicated question. Actually, it's not that simple. Oh, I did it for X. No, I've mentioned that I've taught screenwriting at the university level. I've taught workshops on micro-budget filmmaking, and so on. And so it's something I do and I enjoy to do, and so it seemed kind of logical as a way to reach more people to use the internet as a way to do it. And because I'm a micro-budget filmmaker, I did want to use this as an opportunity, as a means to help other micro-budget filmmakers get their films made, because I know how hard it is, because I have been through this process now twice. Well, we're almost done the second time. By the time you see this video, we'll have completed the post-production on our second feature film, Fucking My Way Back Home, and have started to submit it to film festivals and hopefully get some traction in that way. And so I understand from multiple angles the challenges that people face, and I wanted to help people. But I also wanted for myself not to go broke. I'm not rich, that's why I make micro-budget films. I wanted to find a way to do teaching online, because I can't reach everybody who's out there who wants to be taught. And I wanted to do it in a way that, well, let me put it this way. When I teach at university, they charge a lot of money for people to do the course, thousands of dollars to take a course. I'm not paid thousands of dollars, but the university charges thousands of dollars. They cover their expenses, their overhead, their buildings, their heating, their air conditioning, all that kind of stuff. So I had this idea that if I could do this and structure the course in the way that I think would be most useful in terms of focusing people on an end goal of getting a feature film made, and both through the structure of the program, that it would be a boot camp with very clear steps towards us creating a specific script that would be realized by the end of the program, and secondly, by focusing people's attention through a contest, that would be more useful to people than just sort of teaching them generally how to write a screenplay and story theory and that kind of thing, like really make it practical. But that I could do what I was doing, which was teaching people and getting paid to teach people, because I have bills to pay and I have kids, but take the money that normally the university would take to cover their overhead, and instead use that money to fund filmmakers. And that the more people I could reach and get involved in the program, the more films that I could fund. That was my idea, that I could fund, maybe the first year I could fund 3 or 4 films, and then the second year I could, add, more prizes and fund more, and do it on the basis of the more people who enroll, the more money I can provide in multiple prizes, so that I got paid and made the kind of money I made as a teacher, and at the same time was able to take that extra money and help more and more people. Because what I really believe is that we need a micro-budget film movement, and I've talked about this in many other places, that we don't have the marketing power of Hollywood. All we have is each other, and we have to support each other. And so this is a way of kind of collectively pooling our resources to help each other. It helps me out because I get paid to teach people and to help them develop their skills in a way that's I'd done, but I could reach more people in more geographic locations. It helps filmmakers because they get a great script out of it and develop their skills. It helps all of us, because the better quality micro-budget films that are getting made out there, the more credibility it gives micro-budget filmmaking as a legitimate form of filmmaking that can break the mold of the Hollywood structure of filmmaking, which is to make some superhero movies and big budget action movies, which I like. I'm nothing against those per se, but there also needs to be more thoughtful and engaging and challenging movies made that aren't going to get made with tens of millions of dollars because the risk is too great for people who are investing that, but could get made by filmmakers who are kind of rebels and artists who really want to have great stories to tell. And so that was the idea behind the program. And what's in it for me? Well, the possibility of getting paid, though the risk is great. Normally the university takes that risk, of course. They hire me and then they put on the course and they hope that enough people register to make the course profitable for them. So I'm assuming that risk at this point. But I have the chance to benefit from being paid as a teacher and from helping people out. And I have a chance to benefit from helping to create a community that I can be a part of as a filmmaker, because I understand that filmmaking is a collaborative, community-based process, that the stronger the community, the better and more films that we're able to get made and able to get seen. And I benefit because, well, if micro-budget films become, de rigueur, if they become the thing, then obviously me as a micro-budget filmmaker, it gives me more opportunities and more chances to get my films out there and seen. And of course, doing this, I'm marketing and I'm getting myself known. You know about me, you're watching this video, and that also gives me a chance to get my films seen. So I do have something to benefit. I like to think of myself as a good person who wants to help people out, but it's not simply that I'm just, mortgaging my house and writing checks for people. There is a sense in which this is a cycle process that I provide something and people give something back, and some of that goes back out, and some of that allows me to continue to do this in a way which is economically feasible as somebody who's not a really rich dude. And if I become a really rich dude, maybe I'll change my story and restructure it. But there's another element. People may think, well, sure, you can't go broke and you're not rich, but maybe you could give the program for free to me. And the interesting thing is, the last time I ran the program, I did give it free to a couple of filmmakers who said they didn't have money. And what was interesting that I found out is that those filmmakers, for whatever reason, I understand there's all kinds of demands, were filmmakers who didn't actually complete the program. They never submitted a script. They didn't get to the end. They didn't get through even maybe the second stage of the program. And I think there's something to be said for the fact that when you put something on the line, you work harder to reach the end of the process. If it hurts a little bit, you're gonna do this. This hurts me. If I do this wrong, I've kind of discredited myself, and it's gonna be difficult to move forward with Microbudget Film Lab. So I have a big financial and personal commitment in doing the hard work to make this happen. And if you commit to it and you pay for the entry into the program, you're not only going to get a script at the end, you're not only going to have a chance to win $5,000, but you're going to be committed to the program, because you're going to be like, wow, I paid this money, now I better get to the end or I'll have wasted this money. And so I want people to be committed to the program. I don't want people who are just going to kind of drop in, because it's actually can be disruptive to other people, because there's no sense of, it's hard to build a community when people aren't as equally committed to each other, and some people are kind of dropping in and out. Not that either of those filmmakers were kind of trolling or anything, but that can happen where people don't have any stakes in it. Just like stakes are important in a script, stakes are important in community building and in creating a great program. So I hope that has answered your question, and if you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to ask, and I'll be happy to answer them in the discussion, the comments below this video. And I look forward to talking to you further about the Launchpad. And remember, June 19th, mark it in your calendar. We're going to kick it off just for 5 days. The registration is going to be open, and after that it's closed till the next time we run it, which will be probably about a half a year from now. So without further ado and wasting your time, I look forward to hearing from you and talking to you again.